Before I signed up for my coding bootcamp, I went about learning to code by myself, just reading documents online, watching YouTube videos. But I didn't really see how other people went about coding, how they thought, what was their thought process when a problem occurs. So when I signed up for my coding bootcamp, I paid attention to how other people, the instructors, the mentors, and other people learning how to code, how they went about on how to code. So in this video, I'm going to talk about three traits that I've noticed from other people that help me become a better software developer. So the first trait is to stay calm under pressure. I remember on one assignment, I was having issues deploying on GitHub, and I was so frustrated. I was working on this simple task of deploying, and it wasn't working. I spent hours and hours on it. So I decided to book an office hour meeting with my instructor, and I was feeling so stressed inside, so frustrated. It felt like the world was ending. But I noticed that he was calm. He told me to talk with him about the problem and talk about the steps that I did so far to how to solve it. And by talking with him, and I just kind of was able to figure out the solution for myself. And looking back, he didn't really tell me anything I didn't know, but his sense of calmness, his sense of like having a belief that there was a problem to that solution, there was a solution to that problem I met, just kind of rub off on me. So now I take that mindset into whenever I code, to just be calm under pressure and just having this belief system that every problem has a solution. And this trait has helped me become a better developer. The second trait I noticed that I want to talk about is just being curious. When I was doing the coding bootcamp, I noticed that most of the other students just wanted to get by. They would just do the assignments, do enough to get past, and just call it a day. Sometimes just copying, sometimes just not knowing how things work as well. But there's a few students that stood out. They really were interested in what they were learning and wanted to know why. One of the projects from the bootcamp was to create this work scheduler app, and I struggled with it. So, and other people struggled with it too. So we had a meeting with a couple of the other students in the bootcamp on our own to help each other figure out how to solve this app. And when we brought up a code, I noticed that I approached the problem differently from this other student in the class. And I was thinking, he approached it in a different way. He probably can't help me from what I did. I did something different. But that wasn't the case. He was interested in how I went about it and asked me questions. And then, even though he approached the project in a completely different way than I did, he was able to help me in it. And then not only did he help me, he showed me what he did instead and why he did what he did. So this interaction made me realize that there's so many different ways you can approach a coding problem. And by being curious, wanting to learn, you can find the best solution for your coding problems. And then the last trait I want to talk about is that coding is a never-ending process. You have to master the fundamentals. When I was about to finish my coding bootcamp, I had my last one-on-one session with my mentor, And since he got a job, he did the same coding bootcamp, and he got a job as a developer afterwards. I asked him what he did after completing his coding bootcamp to help him get a job. And he said something that surprised me. I was thinking he was going to say, oh, you need to learn about this technology, this programming languages, and you'll be good. But no, he said he redid the entire coding bootcamp curriculum again. And in my mind, I was thinking, why would you do that? You just did the curriculum. Why would you want to do the same projects all over again and not like learn something new? So I didn't take his advice. And then I finished the coding bootcamp, and I started learning about new technologies and applying for jobs. And however, I kept failing these coding challenges from the interviews. These new projects weren't clicking with me. I didn't really fully grasp it. I didn't build any impressive side projects on my own after completing the bootcamp. And then I thought back to my mentor's advice of redoing the coding bootcamp again. So I took it, and then I redid the coding bootcamp curriculum again. So once I redid the coding bootcamp curriculum again, I realized that I didn't fully understand the fundamentals. That's why I was struggling so much with these coding interviews, struggling so much learning about these new technologies. And then by redoing the fundamentals again, doing the same fundamental projects that I did when I learned it the first time, it helped me reinforce what I learned, and things started to click about the basic fundamentals of coding. And not just that, I found ways to optimize and improve my code that I didn't realize from the first time. So by redoing the entire curriculum again, it helped me better understand the fundamentals to help me become a better developer. So these are the three main traits that I've noticed: that you have to stay calm under pressure, you have to be curious, and lastly, you have to respect the fundamentals. And I still apply these things today when I work freelancing my web development projects, when it can be stressful at times working with clients, but I focus on staying calm so I can deliver the best product for them. And then I'm continuously learning. I'm using some new technologies in these apps so I can help my client have a better advantage with the app by using a more efficient technology. And lastly, I focus on improving. When I do these code it, I realize later on that there might be a better way to do it. So by continuously learn, I'm able to improve the app as I do more. So these are the couple of things that I've learned a way to become a better developer, and I hope to make more videos of what I learned along the way.